How to take a night photo like this. First of all, it's a good idea to plan your shot. I like to use this app called Photo Pills. You can change the time and get an idea of where everything will be in the sky. You also want to make sure that the moon is not out or it's a new moon. If it's a full moon or it's close to it, there's going to be too much light in the sky and you won't be able to see all the stars. They also have this handy quick look widget for your phone. Now you can do this in the other app, but I like to use Sky Guide to hold up my phone and take a look at where the Milky Way is going to be. Last thing, make sure you go somewhere with low light pollution, away from cities. There are websites to show you where. Make sure you shoot in RAW so you can edit the photo. You also probably want a wide-angle lens like 20mm and a low aperture to let a lot of light in. Below 2.8 is best, set your shutter speed to around 20 and ISO around 1600. You can play with those settings a little bit. Since you're going to shoot in manual, turn focus peaking on. This will outline in red what's in focus. You also want to use the manual focus assist, the zoom magnifier, to zoom in. Focus back and forth until it's good and the focus peaking will help you. Use a tripod and this 2-second timer will help prevent camera shake from pushing the button. The photo's a bit dark, so we're just going to bring everything up a little bit. I shoot in auto white balance, but here's a trick for the temperature. Bring these up all the way and then you can see the blue and yellow to find a good balance. Let's bring up the clarity and the dehaze just to emphasize those stars. And now we want to add the actual vibrance and saturation. Just do it a little bit though, don't overdo it. On the tone curve, I like to lower the shadows and raise the highlights a little bit. You can play with the colors here specifically if you need it. Sometimes that green haze is a little too much and you can bring down that saturation specifically. Now noise reduction is really important since we're shooting at high ISOs. I'd bring the luminance up to about 20 or 30. Don't overdo it or you lose detail. Crop it, I like to use that line tool on the horizon to make sure it's perfectly level. Now play with the tint a little bit. I want some purple but not too much. I like to use a radial gradient just to emphasize that Milky Way core a little bit. Bring up the highlights but make sure there's still a gradient, it's not a sharp cutoff. And the clarity and the dehaze can be emphasized right here too. Now I focused on the sky, so I want to use a gradient to bring up that foreground a little bit. I would keep this subtle, there's probably not too much information in the foreground. You can even do a little bit of noise reduction. Now this is looking pretty good. You can see the before and after. I also sell presets. Based on the conditions of your photo, one of them is probably a good starting point. And then you can just make small adjustments from there, saving you a lot of time. The link is in my bio, and follow me on YouTube if you want to see more. Thanks for watching, follow for more, and that is